pellet guns were introduced in Kashmir as a non-lethal alternative to bullets against protesters. After more than 140 demonstrators were killed in firing by the police and paramilitary forces during 2008, 9 and 10 agitations. In Kashmir, pellet guns were first time used in 19th of August 2010 and Mudassir Nazir Hajam became the first victim of pellet gun firing by government forces.
Yes, draya machine mas nibra kan has kor has pellet gun start. Yes, I was immediate fire. Emios em singan awzaran dat kormutan. Asas emsi zarat vaaliya asas emsi zarat magar asas pe khashas to wuchu son halat kya ach asna chin ka ati raftara asas trai vaaliya khashas yas go vaaliya san khatar mushkil ya chum don benen maz ah boy yosum godkun yosum maharaj.
Doctors termed the use of pellet guns on the protesters outrageous. They say that bullet-injured persons are easy to treat than the pellet-injured.
The pellet gun which the police of Jammu and Kashmir is using on the peaceful protesters, which to my knowledge and which we have seen patients around, if it hits the vital organs like eyes, instantaneously people have lost their vision. Just to suppress this wise, they're not only using pellets, but they're using other means also like pepper gases, bullets, firearms straight away.
A study conducted at the SK Institute of Medical Sciences, Saura, Srinagar, titled "Pellet Gun Fire Injuries Among Agitated Mobs in Kashmir" has revealed that pellet guns have caused death of at least 6 persons and injuries to 198 others during 4 months of 2010. 5 persons, according to it, were blinded in the involved eye due to pellet injuries, and 1 patient had pellet injuries in both eyes, rendering him completely blind. The study compares the pellet injuries similar to bullet injuries and revealed that pellets should be evaluated and managed in the same way as those sustaining bullet injuries.
12-bore pump-action guns, commonly known as pellet guns, which J&K police and paramilitary CRPF are using against the civilian protesters in Kashmir, are manufactured by the Indian Ordnance Factory's ammunition factory, Khadki, Pune. These pellet guns were introduced as effective non-lethal crowd control weapons, and authorities claimed that these pump-action pellet guns will rarely harm the target. But these pump-action pellet guns have wreaked havoc in the valley, claiming many precious lives. According to the information I have obtained through Right Information Act from different hospitals of the valley, from August 2010 to October 2013, 95 patients with pellet injuries were admitted in the SMHS hospital, Srinagar. 36 patients with pellet injuries were admitted in the Department of Ophthalmology of the same hospital. And 18 patients have no chance of regaining eyesight, and the fate of those referred outside valley is not known. The information provided by the SKIMS Medical College, Bemina, says that 118 patients with pellet injuries were admitted in the hospital from August 2010 to October 2013. 19 patients were in the ophthalmology department, and 12 patients got visually disabled by 1 eye, and 2 patients were disabled by 2 eyes, both eyes. Information provided under RTI Act by the authorities of the SK Institute of Medical Sciences, SIKIMS, Saura, Srinagar, reveals that from 2010 to October 2013, 95 patients with pellet gun fire injuries were admitted in the hospital, and the number of patients who underwent major surgeries was 17. And 3 death cases have received pellet injuries also. Authorities of District Hospital Baramulla, in an official reply to my RTI application, revealed that 75 persons have been injured due to pellet gun fire by the police and CRPF from October 2010 to November 2013. And among these 75 victims, 1 person, namely Abdul Ghani Gojri, died due to the pellet injuries. 10 persons have received serious eye injuries. which caused them partial or complete visual disability.
Some victims of these pellet guns, whom we talk, said.
Never sure. Both never. I just am Ushmus Kavakas. Rose News dispensary cutters. That is which pellet as that pendas news most warmul refer, Baramla. Rose warmul that is the book pellet am after Srinagar refers. That is three surgeries. That is the book Albany Keith.
That is word Pulsavalla Potter was Dogas ideas. No, sheer bush like doctor of the book. Emisha Vada damage in hospital. Quadrate both Hamsaya was Tam on the Dominica, the Masipotan log, the Monsumo Gabra King of correct injection. Maspat was with Shahar one of Tite Yahya, doctor of the book after the emergency operation.
Nari mozur pehti, iti os me mozur dohui kara magar garas os paknama, panyan benyan bayan os paknama, garas os paknama. Vagar gunjaish me aise bakar has elaj, magar meno chans gunjaishi. Bishas karz kara magar emichas dawa ana.
Sabzi में आने बेल में सिगरेट और द्रायो भी जनाब बुझ पे में मिलिट्री बुझ आमने सामने इमो वुश्न में पाद ब्रोट के इमो को में आमने सामने फेर पेलट फेर जनाब कोर में बुझस करान जनाब खल बना खरबूजों सहितन ओसेस करान आयतन सोन गुजार ओस ये जनाब मोनियाज पे जोव किनत मूला इमो अशगाश चुब सोरे इंसानस According
to a study titled Profile and Outcome of Violence, Related Injuries of Patients During Civil Unrest in a Conflict Zone, an individual shotgun pellet is comparatively small, though victims are usually hit by large numbers pellets simultaneously. The degree of injury is severe, particularly when the wound is inflicted at close range. The patients present with multiple pellets, sometimes hundreds, causing diagnostic difficulties to the treating clinicians, the study says. Study titled Pattern of Ocular Injuries in Stone Pelters in Kashmir Valley, conducted by the Department of Ophthalmology, Government Medical College, Srinagar, has revealed that 18 patients with grave pellet injuries caused by the pellet guns were admitted in the hospital during 4 months of 2010.
No one can be deprived of his life and personal liberty. Since the government forces have been used pellet gun fires against innocent unarmed civilians, which caused the great harm to the bodies of the aggrieved persons, the law is very clear. If at all the government forces are supposed to disperse the mob, then in that eventuality chapter 9 of the criminal procedure code is very clear. But according to the provisions of chapter 9 of criminal procedure code, the police cannot go beyond its powers. It cannot use its powers excessively.
If we see according to international law, Government of India is signatory to the Covenant of Civil and Political Rights, Covenant of the Economical, Social and Cultural Rights, right? And according to these covenants, what we call the international humanitarian law, then Universal Declaration of Human Rights, and even also the international human rights law, there people have a right to protest peacefully on the legitimate issues, right? If there's excesses from the police or from the army, people have a right to come on the streets and to agitate it, right? Or any other civil issues also. And the way Government of India is not allowing it, it is violating also the international law, international humanitarian law. Any weapon besides pellet gun the people behind the weapon, behind the pellet gun or behind any weapon here, they are convinced that they have no accountability, because there is complete legal impunity given to the army, to the police force and the other state actors here. So with the result that they are using it disproportionately. Normally there's a set procedure that if you have to contain a violent protest or demonstration, there's a set procedure, but they're not using it because they know this thing that Kashmir is different. No, they will not afford to do it in Delhi, they will not afford to do it in other places.
Sohail Khan, a 20-year-old boy from Saura, was returning home on the bike, but according to eyewitness, he was targeted by forces with pellets at Rajorikal.
Ako me उस टाइम कॉल ऑफ फ्रेंड आ तो बेनी गुजराम गोपालपुरा बस वापस बद लड़का बाइक पे बस पका वही आप उसका हालत खराब इसलिए ड्राइवर अपनी तो मैं आ पलट पत कर हम लातमोड पुलिस कर लातमोड तम पे गई मिसान कि बुतरोस लड़का वातो अस्पताल मोर मिसाल आम राजकल चौकस मस बेलट परनाय में मेहनतस पे पर कलिन काम पे परनाय में अच्छा न पाई कर गवर्नमेंट में इत पे मसला मगर वन तूता लूकन हेकान कर कहें वन वन चक्कर कमजोर काफी
Abdul Kabir Beg migrated along with his family from Sultanpura Kandi to Varmul town in North Kashmir in early 90s with an aim to provide better education to his children. However, all his dreams were shattered when his teenaged son Amir Kabir, studying in 12th standard, was hit by pellets fired by paramilitary on September
18 सितंबर 2010 को उस टाइम शाम के टाइम में अपनी माँ के साथ हॉस्पिटल गया। वहाँ पर मदर को डॉक्टर को दिखाया और उसके बाद मेडिसिन लाने के लिए मैं हॉस्पिटल के दूसरे साइड से गया। वहाँ पर पुलिस की एक जीप थी। वहाँ पहुँचते ही उन्होंने ना मतलब कुछ बोला, गाड़ी के अंदर से ही फायर कर दिया। उसी वक्त अंधेरा हो गया मुझे। तो उसके बाद पता नहीं किन लोगों ने उठाया, वहाँ से हॉस्पिटल ले गए। फिर वहाँ से मुझे उसी वक्त एमरजेंसी रेफ़र किया उन्होंने सोरा में श्रीनगर। उसके बाद वहाँ से दिल्ली मुझे रेफ़र किया गया राइट आई की सर्जरी के लिए एम्स में। वहाँ पर भी सर्जरी करके फिर भी इम्प्रूवमेंट टोटली कुछ नहीं होगी, 100% मतलब डिसेबिलिटी रही।
बस नेबर द्राव इंजेक्शन हम साइड से कदल हम साइड इंजेक्शन में खतर बस यु द्राव और गाड़ शायद सा क्या तमें साथ आए मस दोनों बस आमिर सब क्या धाव अति मम तुल अत मोह लड़का शुर तुल अंदर हस्पताल गए अत आमिर लिख खून से पे सुबह फिर सर मे बने कम बह त्रा पे शीत पे आयस घर कोरस और ये कुन पूसा कोरस और दिल्ली तक टेस्ट पोट तुलस बह गो माज हूँ बूथ वम साथ पोट तुल क्या बूथ वो वो क्या वो मम्मा बह हे कहें डॉक्टर कहें आए पे वापस किस्मत यूत तक क्या कर।
Pellets, which have been introduced in the valley to minimize killing during the protests and declared by the authorities as the non-lethal, have proved to be most lethal for the family.
From January 2014 to 30th June 2014, that's during the 6 months of this current year, 15 patients with serious pellet injuries were admitted in the different hospitals of the valley. So I'm talking about the serious injuries, not the minor injuries. The 15 patients with serious eye injuries were admitted in different hospitals of the valley, and out of these 15 patients, 12 persons got visually disabled by one eye, and 2 patients, Farooq Ahmad Malla and Mohammad Siddiq Chota, they got visually disabled by both eyes. The main problem to ascertain the facts about these victims and for the proper documentation of the pellet gunfire victims is that most of the families prefer to visit private hospitals and clinics. They avoid going to government hospitals because of the spies and government agencies present in the hospitals. These government agencies, spies, police posted in the hospitals, they check hospital records, they check the incoming injured patients to check these pellet gunfire victims. So many of these patients, their families, they prefer to visit private nursing homes, they prefer to visit private hospitals and clinics in and outside the valley for the treatment of their victims. But according to my knowledge and observations, more than 350 persons have received serious injuries by these pellet gunfires in the Kashmir Valley. And out of these 350 patients, like Amir Kabir Beg, Hayat Ashraf Dar, Farooq Ahmad Malla, Muhammad Siddiq Chota, Danish Ahmad Sheikh, around 150 persons have either partially or completely blinded by these deadly pellet gunfires in the Kashmir Valley. And like Mudassir Ahmad Hajam, Irshad Ahmad Pare, Yasir Rafiq Sheikh and Abdul Ghani Gojri, there are a number of deaths associated with these deadly pellet gun fires.
These firearms have increasingly drawn sharp criticism from various quarters for the disabling injuries.
India, which is claiming the largest democracy, rule of law, then they are shining India like that. But how, in a barbaric way, they are ruling Kashmir?
See, as far as the issue of the pellets is concerned, it's a very grave and serious issue, and it's unfortunate that the way in which the pellet is being used in Kashmir, in total violation of basic human rights. This is basically, if you look at it, it was used for to scare away birds and animals, and now this is being tested on the innocent people of Kashmir, especially the youth. And I have visited so many pellet injured people in hospitals and homes, and it leaves such a huge amount of damage to their bodies and especially to their eyes. I think we have more than 24 cases where we have seen that young boys have lost their eyesight because of pellet injuries, and these pellets remain in the body for a long time, and that causes grave issues. So I think the first issue is that in spite of repeated attempts by the human rights organizations and the political parties in Kashmir, there seems to be absolutely no effect on the government. They continue to use pellet as a deadly weapon. And then there are also other weapons which have been lately introduced in the Kashmir resistance, against the Kashmir resistance movement, issues like the pepper gas and other lethal issues. Because the government on the one hand say that the police say these are not lethal weapons and these are mob control weapons, while the fact is that so many deaths have occurred, and we have statistics and data to support that argument that this use of pellet gun is a crime against humanity, and it should be stopped.
It's time perhaps also for a serious rethink on the use of pellet gun.
हर किसी जगह खुद जा सकता था, सड़कों पे जहाँ भी पार्टिसिपेट करना हो, किसी जगह पे पेंटिंग्स बनानी हो, सब खुद कर सकता था। लेकिन अब ऐसा मेरे साथ हुआ है कि आप में कुछ भी नहीं कर सकते।
महाराज